President, very distinguished colleagues, the fifth order of the day are the House bills for concurrence as listed on the order paper. Distinguished colleagues, these are the Nigerian Forest Security Service Bill 2024 HB 990 and the Nigerian Port Economic Regulatory Agency Bill 2024 HB 1038. Mr. President and distinguished colleagues, these are bills for concurrence from the House of Representatives. And Mr. President, if I have your permission, I will present my very short lead debate on these bills.
Please proceed.
Mr. President, very distinguished colleagues, Nigerian Forest Security Service Bill 2024 HB 90 was read for the first time in this hallowed chamber on Tuesday, 30th April 2024. This bill seeks to establish the Nigeria Hunters and Forest Security Service for the prevention and combating of crimes in the Nigerian forests and other related activities of the service within the Nigerian forests. Nigerian Port Economic Regulatory Agency Bill 2024 HB 1038 was read for the first time in this chamber on Thursday, 18th July 2024. This bill seeks to repeal the Nigeria Shippers Council Act, Cap N133, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004, and enact the Nigerian Port Economic Regulatory Agency Act to provide for economic regulation of port services. Mr. President and distinguished colleagues, the objectives of these bills are: 1. To establish the Nigerian Port Economic Regulatory Agency as an economic regulatory authority, hereinafter referred to in this bill as the agency for port services, hereinafter referred to in this bill as regulated services, and to set out the objectives, scope, functions, and powers of the agency. 2. To establish a regulatory framework for the effective and efficient economic regulation of regulated services and related activities, for the control of tariffs, rates, and charges to guard against arbitrariness. 3. To monitor compliance of regulated service providers and users in the regulated sector with the provisions of this bill, and advise the government through the minister on matters related thereto. And finally, to promote the automation and digitalization of all cargo reception and handling processes and procedures. Mr. President, my respected colleagues, these are straightforward and non-controversial and have gone through the necessary legislative process in the House of Representatives. I therefore urge you all to support the second reading of these bills as we refer them to the Committee of the Whole for clause-by-clause consideration. I thank you.
This was second reading.
So, Mr. President, it is therefore my pleasure to move that these two bills be now read for the second time. I so move.
Senator, the Minority Leader.
Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, I rise to reluctantly second this motion for the second reading in a concurrence bill from the House of Representatives. Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, I say reluctantly because these are novel bills that have been brought before us here. And for some of us, we're seeing these bills